Hi everyone, thank you for being here today. My name is Blake and I still love music. Today's album is the newest from California artist CASTLEBEAT. The name of the album is CASTLEBEAT II. CASTLEBEAT is a self-produced project of Josh Wong, a lo-fi artist who incorporates like dream pop and indie pop elements. This is my first introduction to CASTLEBEAT's music. I honestly discovered this album from Rate Your Music. I mentioned in my last video, or my first video, my albums of the year so far, that dream pop has become, if not my favorite category, at the very least one of my favorite categories of music. And I feel like I'm kind of on a mission to just discover as many dream pop artists and albums as possible. I'll start the review by saying that, while Rate Your Music categorizes this as a dream pop album, and there are definitely dream pop elements, I feel like it leans a lot heavier into the indie pop genre throughout most of its duration. The vocals definitely do contain like that washed out, sometimes indistinguishable sound that is synonymous with dream pop. But the guitars feature lots of chugging chords, and some songs like Garden and My Love almost have like a post-punk sound to them, to the guitars particularly. However, I feel like this album fails to stand out in any meaningful way through most of its runtime, through the majority of it. There's no songs on this album that I would say like I outright dislike, but I felt that there wasn't really a lot for me to grab onto. To give a little bit of insight kind of actually into my review process, typically for my first listen of an album that I intend to review, I'll listen to it while following along with the lyrics, and I'll type out like some bullet points of thoughts I have. When I was doing this album, after the third song, I pretty much stopped taking notes because I got really bored. Basically all the way up to the fifth song on the album, Plastic Bag. And just to be clear, I want to reiterate, I don't think that any songs on this album are terrible, but just mid in the most literal sense for most of it. Plastic Bag though is the fifth song, and that is a really fun song. It was the first song I would say on this album I really enjoyed. There's some really great layering, and just it builds a great atmosphere. This is really where that like dreamy sound comes through, which is what I really love, in dream pop, of course. I can't make out most of the lyrics on this song, but I do love like Josh is just saying something about a plastic bag on his face, while there's like just this lush instrumentation in the background. I also think like the effects that are on his voice are really cool. I really love the echo that he puts on his voice. It sounds really great on this song. The song following it, My Love, is also a pretty strong showing. It has a return to like that post-punk guitar sound that I mentioned was there a little bit earlier in the album. I really like the chorus. It's really nice in the song. Table and Chair has some pretty great drumming on it. I like the drum sample, but beyond that, it doesn't really do much for me. It really is a shame that my two favorite songs on this album, I would say, are the last two, because it kind of made me wonder like where this quality was for the rest of the album, to be honest. Sun God, the second to last song, has my favorite vocal performance on the album. The song has this really like peaceful feeling, and like it's peaceful even though there's like these very low kind of dark piano notes, and around the minute and a half mark, Josh's voice drops down to like this lower register, and he sings that like close your eyes, something pure as something. I can't even make out the last part of that line, but it's just beautiful. This track like communicates this sense of like, I don't know what the future will bring, but it'll be okay. Like it's a comforting song somewhat. It's my favorite song on the album. And then following that, the closing song, Promise, is also an extremely strong dream pop song. The snare on the song sounds so like full. The song, like, it made me feel like I was in like an old dance hall, but like in a space station. Like that's the way I can explain it. That doesn't make sense, but that's what I felt. It feels very like triumphant and grand, and it really adds, those last two songs add quite a bit to my enjoyment of the album. So overall, I think Castle Beat 2 is a pretty mid album, and I don't mean mid like how people say something's mid and they mean it's bad. I really do mean mid. Like I think it's a true 5 out of 10 for me. Plastic Bags, Sun God, and Promise are all great songs, especially Sun God and Promise. And I'll revisit those songs, you know, in the playlist that I added them to, but there isn't much else on this album that I liked or that I'll really come back to. Leonard also gave this album a listen, and he had a few notes. He wrote, "Plastic Bag made me feel like I was drifting through the wind wanting to start again." And he also wrote, who else up beating their castle right now? When I asked him what he wanted to rate the album, he said no. So thank you for watching, and also thank you for the support so far with the channel and the comments. I'm still figuring out a system for, you know, choosing which albums to review, how often I want to post, so just bear with me as we kind of get into, you know, a groove here. But in the meantime, thank you for your support. Leave any comments, leave any suggestions in the comment section for albums for me to listen to, and I will see you next time.